Welcome to our Springbok Media Conference. Apologies that we're late. We got locked out twice on the way here. Just so that everybody knows what our format is, we're taking 5 minutes of questions from South Africa. If I could please appeal to you guys, can we do Afrikaans and isiXhosa? There are a lot of media in attendance, and the next 10 minutes of the media conference after that will be to them. So can I please ask for you to raise your hands, and then we can get cracking. Justin?
Thanks, Sia. How's it, Jock? How's it, Sia? If we can drop net vir jou kortliks om net ter opsomming te gee basis op julle vertoning vanaand teen die All Blacks asseblief.
Ja, opsomming, luister, eerstens, dis 'n tipe toets wat ons wou gehad het vir die Wêreldbeker. Soos ons genoem het deur die week, ek dink Wal is so half een tipe van styl om teen te speel, en dan die All Blacks obviously ietsie anders, bietjie vinniger, meer kontinuïteit, en so ons het presies in 'n fisiese set piece battle lyn staan 'n scrum, so ek dink ons het presies gekry wat ons wou gehad het. Dan yes, ek dink obviously baie bly met die uitslag en bly in terme van yes, was 'n klomp Suid-Afrikaners op Twickenham, jy weet, en om net om vir hulle dankie te sê vir die effort wat hulle gedoen het om na die stadion toe te kom, was awesome. Maar ek dink daar's nog steeds, ek dink almal sal weet, daar's nog steeds harde werk vir ons voordat ons in die Wêreldbeker ingaan. Ek dink veral in daai eerste 20 minute, ons het seker, ek dink 7 geleenthede nie gebruik nie, jy weet, maar ons het 2 keer uitgetackle in touch, en ons is 2 keer oor die doellyn opgehou. En in 'n Wêreldbeker waar die druk groot is, gaan jy 4 geleenthede in 'n hele wedstryd kry, en dan moet jy hulle maak gebruik. So ek dink daar's nog baie vir ons om aan te werk, en gelukkig gaan ons nou Korsika toe, ons kan 'n lekker oefenkamp daar hê en daar goedjies probeer uitstryk.
Jan?
Thank you, Zina. Thank you, Jacques. Thank you, Sia. Jacques, the flip side of this win, as great as it was, and the margin of the win, means you guys are going to arrive at the World Cup. Most likely, they'll probably be confirmed on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. You guys will arrive as world number 1 at the World Cup. Does that put extra pressure on you guys?
No, we don't even look at that in terms of world rankings. I mean, last time 2019, I think I don't know, but I think we went in not even in the top 5 going into the World Cup, and we ended up winning the World Cup. And that's probably the main thing about tonight. You know, it was good. It's good to build momentum. Obviously, after the test match we had against New Zealand, we had to adjust a couple of our things, and we made some plans. The players come with some good suggestions, and the management and coaches came with some suggestions, and we find some solutions. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work, but we didn't get 1 point in the World Cup for tonight, and that's the thing. I think New Zealand will feel the same. You know, I mean, it was what it was. It was an opportunity to prepare us to go into the World Cup, and that's it.
Because I don't see a hand from Kaniso. Nathan, you can ask. I'm assuming it's in Xhosa.
Yes, it is, Zina. Thank you very much. Kokeli, manithala man. Coach nje ngesiXhosa bhuti babe unjani umdlalo wanamhlanje nje kapalala?
Bulela bhuti wami, no umdlalo edinga yonke lento besifuna uyenza namhlanje, sisifumene impendulo ezininzi ki-plan besinazo, kodwa echilo umqeqeshi wethu amathuba amaninzi siwayekile phaya ebaleni, and xa sifika kwindebe yehlabathi, if asokwazi uthatha la mathuba, I don't think izokwenzeka ngolu hlobo enze ngayo namhlanje. Kodwa indlela esilwe ngayo, indlela esiteklishe ngayo, i-discipline yethu kula first half ibinhle kakhulu. So zininzi into zozithatha, but as ucoach echilo, ayithethe into kwi-World Cup lento. Siyavuya siwinile, but umsebenzi uyaqala kulo veki zayo. Yeah.
Steven?
Baie dankie Zee, veels geluk man.
Dankie, Steven.
Jacques net, die eerstens, hoe voel het om 'n rekord in die All Blacks te stel, 'n Suid-Afrikaanse Springbok rekord, en dan net is die 7-1 'n moontlike pad vorentoe, of was dit net as gevolg van 'n 'n besering aan Willie?
Okay, ek sal begin met die 7-1. Ja, weet jy, nee, dit was 'n ongelukkige ding wat gebeur het. En ons het gevoel ons wil nie vir Willie risk in hierdie wedstryd nie. En uit die aard van die saak, dit is met al die kaarte en goeders wat deesdae rondgaan, is dit iets wat ons al baie oor gepraat het. Nie die 7-1 nie, maar forwards wat kan backs cover. Jy weet, as 'n ou met 'n 6-2 split gaan en jy verloor 2 backs soos ons al partykeer gebeur het, dan het jy 'n paar loosies nodig wat vir jou kan cover op vleuel, en jy het 'n paar 9's nodig wat vir jou kan cover op vleuel, soos Kobus vanaand gedoen het, soos ek dink Grant sal ook vir ons dieselfde kan bied. So ek dink ja, dit is uit die aard van die saak iets waaroor ons gepraat het. Weens nie die 7-1 nie, die net om dit te kan manage as daar beserings vroeg in 'n wedstryd kom en jy gaan met 'n 6-2 die aard van die saak. 'n 7-1, 'n 5-3 is 10-1 die minste risiko. En as jy na 'n bank kyk, 6-2 het risiko en dan obviously 7-1 het baie risiko. So ja, dit was ek weet nie of ou daai risiko kan vat vorentoe nie, maar dis iets wat ons nou sal kyk en dit oorweeg, maar ek sê weer, daar's baie risiko in dit.
Cool. Thank you, guys. We'll take questions from the floor now. So,
Yeah, how's the knee? How you feeling?
All good. All good. Knee felt strong. No problems at all. I wasn't in doubt at all. I think the medical team was really amazing. I think I came into the last week with confidence, and this week too, no problems at all.
Feeling good?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jacques, please could you give some thoughts on Moody's performance at number 13?
Yeah, I thought he was his first, not his first game, a test match. I mean, he's a 13. He played 13 for his franchise at not junior level, but at a 19 and a 20 for our local competition in the Currie Cup. And I think I mentioned beforehand, I think Rico only went the same route. You know, he also started at wing and then obviously settled down at 13. So I think Kanan, so it's not a new position, and we in trainings he runs there a lot for us. So, but I thought with the quality of player that he had to play against, I thought he had a really solid performance. And like I said, with the injury to Lucanio, we always had Lucanio and we had Jesse as our 2 13s with options of maybe moving Damien Delende out to 13. So he was our third choice. But with the injury with Lucanio, we needed a 13 backup there. And he was always a guy that we earmarked for it. We wanted to try him on the end of year tour last year, 2022. But unfortunately, he picked up a hamstring injury. So he missed out the first 3 games. And then, so we couldn't test him there, but tonight was a great opportunity.
It looks like he sees things that other players don't.
I can't comment on that, but obviously he looked comfortable in the position. Yeah.
Can I just ask about the 7-1 bench split? I think you might have been asked about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you were slightly pushed into it this evening due to injury, but is it something, given how destructive your pack was tonight, is it something that we might see voluntarily in France?
Yeah, I think, like you said, tonight it was, Billy picked up a little bit of an eagle and we felt we didn't want to risk him for this game. And so there's always a couple of guys that's on standby. The rest of the guys had a big flogging during the week, the non-playing squad, because obviously we wanted to end on a Friday where everybody had as much exposure from a conditioning point of view, so that we all go into the next 2 weeks almost on par. And hence that's why we felt, yes, we don't want to risk that. And going forward, will we go? I think the least risk in terms of a bench covering multiple options is probably a 5-3. I think it's fair to say that the majority will know that's the least risk, and you cover the most positions in that. 6-2 is more risk. like we've seen before. And then obviously a 7-1 is a big risk. I mean, yeah, we were fortunate tonight that we didn't get any backline injuries. But I mean, it is something that we not the 7-1, something that if we go with a 6-2, there is certain forwards that have fulfilled certain roles in backline play, because obviously you can go there. I think France is the same. When we played against them down in Marseille, Waki played wing, am I right? No, Makulu. Where he went to wing. He was a forward. So I think we've trained that scenarios with all the cards and the yellow cards that goes around. So it is something that we have dabbed into, but I mean, not the 7-1, the make players being able to fulfill multiple positions.
Jack, it's been quite topsy-turvy in terms of the results of the Rugby Championship leading up to this. And pretty much the question I asked Bozzy was, what do you learn from today? And how do you differentiate when you're playing against those top 2 or 3 sides in the world? There's so little to choose between them. And it's almost form on the night that really defines who wins and loses now. It's so close.
Yeah, I think that is exactly that. I mean, how long was it? Probably 6-7 weeks ago, we played against New Zealand in New Zealand, and we were sitting where they are currently sitting now, So and that's how quickly things can change. So yeah, for us, it's good performance in terms of again, certain things we wanted to get right, and then there's a lot of things that we didn't get right. I thought we had a lot of opportunities in the first 20 minutes. I think in the whole game, I think there was about 8 opportunities where we got held up twice. And I think going into the World Cup, I said it last week as well, going into World Cup, you only because there's so much pressure in the World Cup, you get 4 or 5 opportunities and you have to capitalize on them, or the majority of them. So that's something that we will definitely work on and try and fix in the next 2 weeks before we play Scotland. But yeah, I think tonight it's the same for us. When we had that loss against New Zealand, I mean, you just have to keep in the reality, and the reality is tonight we're happy, but we're also sad. I mean, there's 5 players who's been with us and who has given everything, who's not in the squad, who's going back to their club. So they would give everything to be in the 33. So the guys who's in the 33, they must cherish that and know that there's guys that is as good that can take their place.
I want to very quickly see the neutral venue. How did you enjoy it? Would you like to see the experiment repeated again?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. To see the amount of South Africans on the way to the stadium was honestly special. And I think Jock told to us before the game, like whenever we need South African people to come for us, and they were there today. And I think, everybody enjoyed it, hopefully. And that's why I said in the week, there's no ways we can hold back in front of 82,000 people. The people in the UK don't get to see the Springboks and the All Blacks play against each other. So we had to give it everything today. And I think in future, if something like this can happen, I think it will be amazing. Maybe have more than one game on the day. I think, you can see the excitement of the people who want to see the Southern Hemisphere side from here. So I really enjoyed it.
Can I ask about Andreas and his development? And obviously, he had a great performance tonight. But how pleased are you with how he's come on across the last 18 months, 2 years?
No, yes, I think he's really on form. He was very good tonight. And listen, he's been good. Australia game that we started him, good in that Argentina away game, which is a very hostile environment and tough game to go and win. And then tonight, I mean, it's good. Like I said, our big aim was to try and get as much squad depth as possible. We think it's going to be a squad effort. If we defend the World Cup, it will take a squad of 33 that's in form, that have had good game minutes under their belt, and that push each other. So there's nice competition within the week, but controlled competition, and the guys help each other. So I think, with him and Damien, Damien's performance last week was as high standard. So I think they're pushing each other really hard.
What does it say
We
about
can take
Andre's
2 more
character
questions,
kind of
guys.
putting himself, because it hasn't been played sailing, has it? And he's obviously come to London and taken a different path from some other. It's good character and determination to make it with the box.
No, yes, it's always been massive. I mean, I've coached Andre the first time, I think, in 2014 at junior Springbok level, when we played the Junior World Cup in New Zealand. He's a quality rugby player. He's a driven man. So yeah, no, I know him well, he's a quality rugby player. Good character, yeah.
Last question over here.
So I'm Chris from Forever Sports. Yeah, this is comment on actually Manie the book, how he's come on, and I'm obviously not giving away secrets here, but to me it seems like under Pollard and under the book we look different. There's a different kind of structure. I don't know if you like actually train them different, but like, are we saying that Manie the book's kind of like torn up the traditional South African way of rugby? Because for us, for what it looks like it's a very different pattern. So they're just comments. But I'm talking about the book because I thought he got very unfair criticism last week. I thought it was uncalled for, but he's kicking, and obviously showing his kicking is good. So how do you feel about where LeBook is now going into the World Cup?
Yeah, no, I think it's probably unfair on Andre.
Yeah,
I can say, because I'm just saying he haven't had an opportunity, unfortunately. Unfortunately, haven't had an opportunity with us yet since we probably started. We always said in 2022 and 2020, we if you think about performance on the one side and development and developing squad depth and building on your game models and stuff like that, 2020 and 2022 was probably the 2 years that we were going to do it. Unfortunately, we lost 2020 with COVID, and then 2021 it was British and Irish Lions. It was all about performance, and now World Cup. We had to probably get 2020 almost back. So I think Andre was unfortunate. If you go and look at Andre's performance when we played in Mbombela against the All Blacks, I mean that was probably the biggest victory against the All Blacks back then in almost 90 odd years or something like that, and he was phenomenal in that game. But unfortunately, he got injured 2 weeks later, and he hasn't played for us since. So I think it's he's very much aligned with what we're trying to do and how we want to play, and I think if you look at his last couple of performances for Leicester, I thought he was outstanding in the way he played. So yeah,
I think my point is it's a nice place where we are. You know, like to have the two guys.
Yeah, 3.
I didn't mean to try. What's the
No.
I get these two guys. It's like,
I think if you went back maybe 18 months, I mean, everybody asked, listen, what happens if Andre and Elton goes down, you know? And then Damian Willemse stepped up last year, took over from Andre, and he played the majority of the games that fly off last year for us. And I think out of them, we only lost 2 against the number 1 and 2 teams in the world, which was France and Ireland. And then obviously this year, Manie got a couple of opportunities at fly off. Damien had a couple of opportunities fly off. So yeah, I think, and Andre I think he'll probably be ready to go in the next couple of weeks, full on like 80 minutes. So yeah, I think we're in a fortunate position in terms of that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, we have to dash off. Now, hey?
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Dankie.
Dankie.